Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
They have one more win than Chicago, and they literally beat Chicago in Week 17, and yet the Niners are on the road and the Bears are at home. Why? Because of an outdated rule that says, well, winning your division is the holy grail. Rewarding an 8-win division winner with a home playoff game is like giving the corner office to the guy who won the office fantasy pool instead of the guy who actually closed the accounts all year.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Maybe the fact was that the kicker just blew a 44-yard field goal. Now, by the way, I feel horrible for this kid, Tyler Loop, who made every single field goal this season 44 yards or less. But the extra point that was missed just before that by Chris Boswell was the only extra point that he missed all season long. So did they bless that same holy water when Boswell missed the extra point? Come on, guys. Let's get it.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
It's going to open up Pandora's box, but I will say this. I do believe players that sign now, like Najee, should not be eligible now, but should have to sit out and come back in next year. It's just a slippery slope, and I agree with people like Tom Izzo. I don't like it at all.
College basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
Yeah. Oh, welcome to another edition of the Craig Carton Show. My main man, Tyrone A. Johnson, right over there. And breaking news as we come to you live at 11 o'clock in the morning Eastern Time in New York City. Mike McDaniel had apparently the single worst interview any incumbent head coach has ever had with his pissed off owner. Because 3 days ago, Mike McDaniel was announced to be coming back as head coach of the Miami Dolphins. And beyond that, it was also announced that Mike McDaniel was going to be a part of the committee to pick the new general manager for the Miami Dolphins. And then he sat down for dinner. And then he spoke to Stephen Ross, the owner of the Dolphins, about what went wrong this year and why it went wrong. And 30 minutes later, he got the axe. So that had to have been the worst dinner any coach has ever had, and the worst explanation for why the Miami Dolphins, again, do not make the playoffs.
Yeah, it's bad, and now we literally have 25% of the league with no coach all of a sudden.
Is that the number now?
Yeah, it's now up to 8 out of 32, yeah.
Is that the math? Look at you.
That's the math.
You're not known as a math guy.
Oh, yes, I am known as a math guy. I'm a slave to the data. It's the only thing I'm a slave to, the data.
Can you not use the word slave when talking about yourself, please?
I must talk about it when it comes to the data. Okay, that's how much I believe in the math.
Yeah, so look, I think this changes the landscape of a lot of things out there. Not that, every team, the 9 teams that need a head coach are going to be getting in line to go get Mike McDaniel. He failed, and he failed miserably in Miami. You could blame that on Tua being his quarterback. You could blame that on a lot of things. Lousy general manager, lousy personnel. He made the playoffs a couple times.
He did.
Obviously lost that famous game in Kansas City when it was 40-0.
Yeah.
And they lost that game on the bus. Going over to the stadium. You could talk about the playoff game they almost won with a third-string quarterback in Buffalo when Tua got hurt that year, and that was probably their best year to make a run into the playoffs, but no Tua that year in Buffalo, and they almost won, but they lost. So it's not like he gets shut out of the postseason, but let's be fair about it. Either the act wore thin, the personality wore thin, or Stephen Ross, the owner of the Dolphins, finally came to his senses and said, my fans deserve better. Dolphin fans deserve better. And while it's not necessarily an indictment on whether or not Mike McDaniel is going to be a good head coach one day in the future or a great offensive coordinator, again, one day in the future, Miami Dolphin fans want a fresh start. They want a new general manager and a new head coach. And here's the reality. When you're hiring a general manager, you can't force a head coach on a new head of your organization. You got to clean house. The head coach should not be the guy picking the general manager. The general manager should be the guy that picks the head coach.
Yeah, the only exception.
That's how I see it.
It's almost always the case. The only exception are guys that win a lot. Belichick picked his GM. Andy Reid picked his
When
GM.
you get to that level,
you have to get to that level in order to do it.
Like even John Harbaugh, who's obviously the toast of the town right now, and is going to start doing in-person interviews after this weekend's games. I think we all know why.
Yeah.
Because another job or two might open up, whether it's Green Bay or Buffalo or Philadelphia, like who knows, right? But the reality is that even a guy as successful and well-regarded as John Harbaugh, I wouldn't let John Harbaugh pick the new GM. Now, if he goes to New York and he coaches the Giants, there already is a GM there, obviously. So it's going to just pick a GM. That guy runs your franchise, and let that guy decide who the next coach is.
Well, hold on now.
Go.
If you're the Giants, and let's say the ownership loves Harbaugh, let's just say for a moment, right?
Right. Why wouldn't they?
Wait a minute. You would keep Joe Shane? If Harbaugh says, you can pick a GM, but not him, would you part with Shane if it meant getting Harbaugh?
I'm not as big a Harbaugh guy as everybody else, but yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now maybe he doesn't pick him, but he goes,
because, like, if you're the Giants, it's a great question, great example. And I think the Giants are in the same boat as all the other teams now. Yeah. You know, they're desperate. You're desperate to get the best coaching candidate available. And by most metrics, that's John Harbaugh. I may not see it that way, but look, I get the data. I understand that he's the number one candidate right now. I think if Matt LaFleur were available, he'd probably be neck and neck with him, to be fair about it. But yes, John Harbaugh is the guy right now. So if I don't want to lose out on the best coaching candidate, then I would at least let that guy voice an opinion. Right? I'm the owner. I got to make the ultimate decision, but I'm not going to bring John Harbaugh in and have him tell me I don't like or respect the guy you've currently got there, and I'm not going to consider coaching your team if that guy's still there. If I think Harbaugh is that good, then I fire my general manager.
No, the reason I bring that
That's
up
fair.
is the word isn't that Harbaugh's throwing his weight around. It's that wherever he goes, he wants to have a good relationship with that general manager.
And by the way, I'm glad you said that. Like, that might be unique in some cities, like maybe New York. That should be the norm.
Right.
Like, that shouldn't be a big deal.
Right.
Like, your coach and GM should be aligned together.
Right.
And obviously, Brian Dable and Joe Shane started off together,
and
both coming from Buffalo.
and then
very quickly,
yes,
went their separate ways.
Yeah.
Which is why one guy got fired.
Right.
And not both of them, because they went their separate ways. Mike McDaniel's interesting to me. I think in the right situation, Mike McDaniel could be a very good head coach.
I agree.
I think Mike McDaniel will be a sought-after offensive coordinator.
Absolutely.
If he doesn't get another head coaching job right away. And I'm thinking selfishly, as a New York Jet fan.
Ooh.
Now, I don't have a quarterback currently.
But you will.
But I'm going to have a quarterback in this draft.
Yep.
I got the second overall pick. Whomever that quarterback is, I'm going to get a quarterback.
Yep.
Because the Jet job is not the most attractive job in the world, for all the obvious reasons, would I want Mike McDaniel to join Aaron Glenn's staff as the offensive coordinator, also thinking forwardly, if Aaron Glenn proves not to be a good head coach once we get him a quarterback and some more talent, I can then pivot to a guy with experience.
Yeah,
I would say yes to that.
And then the other part,
I would say yes to Mike McDaniel.
And the other reason I like that is when you have, in my opinion, when you have a young coach like that in Glenn, maybe let's say for a moment he can coach. He just was too raw.
By the way, Mike McDaniel went to the playoffs twice with a weak-armed quarterback.
Right. So the reason I like it is many times when you have a coach that's kind of green, you surround them with experienced coordinators. Well, McDaniel, being a former head coach, is now a bona fide experienced coordinator. So I think he helps in two different ways in that way.
And by the way, the Jets are not in the running for a head coach. Although they should be, they're not.
But they're not.
The New York Jets have a head coach. I don't care for the guy that much, but they've got a head coach.
Right.
So if you said to me right now, who's the best offensive coordinator available? My number one pick would be Cliff Kingsbury, but I think Cliff Kingsbury is going to be a head coach.
And there are many who would say McDaniel is at least as good, if not better.
Yeah. So I don't think Mike McDaniel gets a head coaching job guaranteed right away. But I do think he's going to be a very, very popular guy as offensive coordinator. Yeah. So why wouldn't I want him?
And for ego, I know there will be people who will make him the highest paid coordinator. That's already out there. He gets paid for Miami, but it's about the ego thing. Like, not we really want you. Yeah. Here's a huge check to bring you in. That's already out there.
I'm just trying to figure out, and I'm sure I'm going to spend all day talking about this later.
Yeah.
I would love to know what he said at that meeting with Stephen Ross that made Stephen Ross go from you're coming back and we're going to give you a voice in the room for who the new general manager is to you're fired, right? Because I think we all thought there was a good chance Mike McDaniel was going to get fired regardless.
That's what it looked like.
And then they come out and go, he's not going to get fired. He's going to help pick the next GM. And then he has dinner or meeting, whatever it is, with Stephen Ross, and then he gets fired. I wonder if he showed up to that meeting stoned.
It could have been that. Now, allegedly online.
Because we saw him vape on the sideline of a game. Now, could have been just nicotine, obviously. But,
could have been.
You know, the guy, I think, has talked about how he does enjoy an edible from time to time.
Well, this is now from ESPN and a local Miami source. They're hiring their GM by tomorrow.
So they already know who the guy is.
My guess is the GM said, yeah, about that guy, nope.
Well, look, again, if I'm getting the job as the general manager of a failing franchise, part of my deal with the owner is I got to bring my people in. And I might like Mike McDaniel. I might not like Mike McDaniel, but I'm the new sheriff in town, right? I'm picking my own head coach. So they've got a GM. So that's interesting. More on this coming up.
It's going to open up Pandora's box. But I will say this. I do believe players that sign now, like Najee, should not be eligible now, but should have to sit out and come back in next year. It's just a slippery slope. And I agree with people like Tom Izzo. I don't like it at all.
College basketball today. Only on SportsGrid.
OK Dubs has to go back to his roots. I'm not a Jets fan, I'm not a Giants fan, and neither one of those teams even play in New York. But I'm a New Yorker through and through, despite where my mail gets sent. And I will not stand for the Jets to be dragged through the mud in this way. Not gonna happen. So Dante Moore, if you do leave, you should be so lucky to fly the plane.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
Maybe the fact was that the kicker just blew a 44-yard field goal. Now, by the way, I feel horrible for this kid, Tyler Loop, who made every single field goal this season 44 yards or less. But the extra point that was missed just before that by Chris Boswell was the only extra point that he missed all season long. So did they bless that same holy water when Boswell missed the extra point? Come on, guys. Let's get it.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
The Steelers get their touchdown, and they miss the extra point. It was Lamar Jackson who made the plays to get the Ravens into what should have been easy field goal territory. So explain to me how in the world we can look at last night's game as, well, there you go, can't trust Lamar Jackson.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back to the Craig Carton Show. So more drama in the NFL as Mike McDaniel's been fired as the head coach of the Miami Dolphins. Look, I think we had some interviews. I think it's more likely he's an offensive coordinator somewhere, but there will be enough desperate teams who don't get John Harbaugh, Kevin Stefanski, et cetera, who might think very highly of Mike McDaniel. And remember this, while he did not win a playoff game, he got into the playoffs a couple times, and also no Tyreek Hill. Obviously, Tua is not a great quarterback, and all the concussions. An argument could be made, is there a coach out there that would have done better than him in Miami? That's a fair question.
It is a fair question. And I think there's a chance he gets the head coaching job this cycle. The question is he going to like the, quote, leftover jobs?
Yeah, well, listen, the Cleveland Browns aren't going to get a good coach, so maybe they'll hire Mike McDaniel. The Tennessee Titans aren't going to get one of the top coaches. Maybe they want Mike McDaniel, work with a young quarterback, whether it's Shadur Sanders in Cleveland or whoever they draft, or obviously Cam Ward down in Tennessee. Like, there's only so many great coaches available. I think we agree there's 2.5, right?
Yeah.
Depending on what you think about Mike McCarthy, there's 3, right? There's Mike McCarthy, Kevin Stefanski, and John Harbaugh. Now, Matt LaFleur could join them if Green Bay loses to Chicago.
He could.
And he gets fired. No guarantee that he will. Nick Sirianni, if he got fired, based on the success he's had, he'd probably be in demand from a lot of teams.
He absolutely. He would
right?
be. He'd probably be at worst the number 2 candidate if he was the.
He'd be the 7th candidate. Let's not get crazy.
What are you talking about?
Nick Sirianni's along for the ride, kid.
No,
you know that?
He's not.
I know
you
you're
keep
an Eagle
doing
fan.
this. Now you keep doing this.
Dude,
it's
Nick Sirianni's just on the bus.
No, he's not.
That's all he is.
The guy's good at what he does.
On the bus.
He's a great manager of men.
He is not a great manager of men.
He is a great manager of men.
He has foodboarded that locker room and the A.J. Brown situation and the Jalen Hurts situation.
Oh, a wide receiver's
terribly.
crazy. Let's blame the head coach. We've never seen a crazy wide receiver before.
That's right.
Never seen one before. It's the first one ever.
That's right. I'm blaming the head coach and A.J. Brown a little bit.
A little bit?
A little bit.
The wide receiver?
Just a little bit. Could blame A.J. Brown a little bit. You got to be half retarded. Oh, sorry, can't say that anymore. I apologize. You got to be half stupid not to give A.J. Brown the football more than the Eagles give him the football. In any event, there's another story out there in the NFL that is it's sad, frankly, but also I think exposes, frankly, the people of Kansas City. You've been exposed. You've been exposed. Travis Kelce, you've been exposed. You remember a few months back when Travis Kelce and a number of the Kansas City Chief players wore those stupid T-shirts before the game. You see him right there. Free 4. They were upset that Rashee Rice was serving out his suspension from the NFL for that road race incident in which people could have died, did get hurt.
Yeah.
He was found guilty of a felony, had to pay $1 million in a civil settlement, and had a deferred probation sentence, and has to do 30 days in jail at some point in the next 5 years. That's the sentence, right? And all these guys and the Chiefs are like, Rashee Rice is a good man. I support Rashee Rice. Free Rashee Rice. Rashee Rice shouldn't have been suspended. And all you sheep jerk-offs in Kansas City were like, oh, we love Rashee Rice. You're just a hater. You just have bad things to say about Kansas City. Look, free Rashee Rice. Rashee Rice is a good guy. Is he? Is he, though? Is he the type of guy that you would let date your daughter? Is he the type of guy that you would let babysit your children? The answer might have changed. The answer might have changed. Obviously, the answer should have changed after that road racing incident in which he and some buddies were racing their cars 140 miles down the street, got into an accident, and damn near killed a bunch of people.
And didn't stop.
And left the scene of the crime.
Yeah, like if you stopped, then I go, you did something dumb, but you were accountable.
Well, now Rashee Rice's former girlfriend, and I believe the mother of 2 of his children, went out on Instagram and social media yesterday and accused him of disgusting domestic violence and showed photographic evidence that she claims is as the result of his hands.
Right.
Disgusting stuff, and more than just one picture, a lot of pictures.
Yeah, at least
bodily bruises, facial bruising as well.
At least 14.
In addition to that, violence in the home, like holes in walls, broken shelves and windows and doors and things like that. And although she did not say the name Rashee Rice, people aren't stupid outside of Kansas City. They put 2 and 2 together. This is Rashee Rice's now former lady friend who did give birth to 2 of his children. All right? And I'm just wondering, for guys like Travis Kelce, who wore that stupid shirt and thought the road racing incident was not a big deal, I wonder what you think now. When Rashee Rice gets suspended, which he will, again, by the NFL for this alleged domestic violence, which will play itself out in court, obviously. I wonder if the Kansas City Chief fans and players are going to rally to support Rashee Rice after seeing the pictures and video that this gal put out accusing him of disgusting domestic violence.
Yeah.
Are we going to rock those shirts out again when Rashee Rice goes to prison? because he has violated his probation by committing allegedly another felony act of violence? Are we going to rock those shirts and stand outside the prison, with a bullhorn saying "Free for, free for, free for"? Or are we going to acknowledge that if you want to write off the first incident as just childish immaturity, which I can accept to a certain level.
Right.
We've all done stupid things, myself included.
Yep. Of course.
You can't write this off.
Hell no.
Right?
Absolutely not.
We're not going to tolerate this one.
No.
We're not going to band together as Chiefs fans and Chiefs players. And while you can support him in your personal life, and I had friends that supported me, and I value that.
Right.
We're not going to publicly go out there attacking the NFL for suspending the guy for doing something stupid, are we?
We better not.
Are we going to bring him back to play football for the Kansas City Chiefs next year if he's found guilty of this?
Now, this is the bad part. Because he has talent, I can't just say no. They shouldn't, but that's the thing about the NFL. And that's not just the NFL, that's pro sports. It's happened with Major League Baseball players. A ton has happened too much in sports.
Yeah.
Where the more the talent, by far the more the forgiveness.
Sure.
But when it comes to these kind of acts, and if he did this, and the courts will decide it, then this should be the end, not just for the Chiefs, it should be in for a certain amount of time for everyone. Yeah. Should be.
I agree. And by the way, some guys deny doing things. His lawyer or someone close to him has denied it never happened.
Okay.
I've seen the pictures. I saw the video. We all did.
Somebody did it.
Right. Somebody put their hands on this woman.
Somebody did it.
Right. And she's claiming it's Rashee Rice.
Right.
And she's tired of it. And if it was Rashee Rice, good for her. To have the strength to come forward and say what happened.
Yeah.
So I just wonder, all you morons in Kansas City who thought Rashee Rice was a great guy, who wanted Rashee Rice back in the NFL, where are the shirts now? Where's all the letters of support now?
Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
They have one more win than Chicago, and they literally beat Chicago in Week 17, and yet the Niners are on the road and the Bears are at home. Why? Because of an outdated rule that says, well, winning your division is the holy grail. Rewarding an 8-win division winner with a home playoff game is like giving the corner office to the guy who won the office fantasy pool instead of the guy who actually closed the accounts all year.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Maybe the fact was that the kicker just blew a 44-yard field goal. Now, by the way, I feel horrible for this kid, Tyler Loop, who made every single field goal this season 44 yards or less. But the extra point that was missed just before that by Chris Boswell was the only extra point that he missed all season long. So did they bless that same holy water when Boswell missed the extra point? Come on, guys. Let's get it.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
It's going to open up Pandora's box. But I will say this. I do believe players that sign now, like Najee, should not be eligible now, but should have to sit out and come back in next year. It's just a slippery slope. And I agree with people like Tom Izzo. I don't like it at all.
College basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
Hi, welcome back to the Craig Carton Show. It's weird. I have this strange little neck pain right now, and I've lost a couple pounds. I've been working out. I've been eating a little bit better. I lost, like 10 pounds or something in the last month, right?
Yeah.
I think I lost neck fat. I think like my head's so big and heavy that the neck fat I lost is making my head too heavy for my body.
Is that how it works?
Yeah, I think so.
Well,
like I've been sitting here for years. I've done this a long time.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, the last couple of days here and at the radio station, my neck's killing me. I think in losing a few pounds, which I did, I lost it like up by the top of my vertebrae or something, and now my heavy head like doesn't have the support it needs.
Well, you're going to need an MRI. You get one of them MRIs. Yeah.
I ain't getting no MRI.
You got to get an MRI.
I'm not getting an MRI.
You talking about the neck is serious.
Yeah, but I'm claustrophobic. I can't get an MRI without getting somebody pregnant.
Well, then you're going to have to
I eat
sedate
3
you.
cheese lasagna.
You put in the lasagna.
I get 3 cheeses in my lasagna.
Yeah, we put some Xanax in
If I don't have 3 cheeses in my lasagna, I don't eat lasagna.
Lasagna. No. Yeah, we put Xanax in it, and then you lay down in
Whatever. I'll take Xanax. I'll take whatever you got. You got some purple drink?
I don't have to drink. I feel like you know people that have access to the drink.
I can get some purple drink.
You get the drink.
I can get some lean, too, if I wanted it.
Well,
yeah.
One of the same.
Yeah.
I mean, one goes
just
with
get
the
some
other.
codeine and some high C, and I'm good to go.
There you go.
Yeah, it's just a weird thing. Is that possible? Is there a doctor downstairs?
It's absolutely not possible.
You're saying that a guy can't lose supportive neck fat?
No.
That's what you're saying?
Because if anything, it would be less weight to have to carry. And you don't. And
no,
also,
my head didn't get smaller. I think maybe just my neck got smaller.
That's you can't lose fat and you don't pick where the fat goes.
I know that's my
it just
saying.
goes. So you thinking it just went to the neck?
I think
your neck got thin.
Yes, like
have you worn a dress shirt instead of a hoodie?
No, I only wear hoodies.
Right, but you own a dress shirt, right?
I own a couple button downs. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, then if the top button is different, you have to test that.
I'll try that tonight
see
when
if
I
the
go
neck
home.
change.
I'll put on a dress shirt to see if I can do the top button. Yeah. Maybe I didn't lose neck fat.
See?
I feel like I did. I feel like a couple weeks ago, if a guy in a van was having a tough time putting a couch in the back of the van, he would have seen me and said, "What are you, about a size 12?" and kidnapped me to take my skin off and make a dress for himself. But now I feel like I've lost so much weight that the guy would just let me walk right by.
Yeah, you're good. Come on. What are we doing?
I'm just thinking.
What are we doing?
Quick.
What are we doing?
It's a Silence of the Lambs reference.
I understand. Yeah. It goes back to the early 90s.
All right, quick quiz for you.
Yeah,
Did you ever see Silence of the Lambs?
Yeah, it's been a while.
I'll let you use Ethan downstairs as a light.
Oh, okay. Well, between the both of us, yeah.
What song was she listening to when she pulls into her apartment complex before she gets kidnapped?
Yeah, see, I don't remember that. I definitely don't remember that.
You're out on that?
I'm out on that.
You want to go to your lifeline?
Yeah, he's him and Hall.
He has no shot.
He's got no idea. Well, what song was it?
He's like,
American Girl?
Yeah, you cheated.
American Girl. Did he cheat?
Cheated, 100%.
I didn't want to cheat.
He knows he cheated. Of course he cheated. Yeah. She's singing American Girl as she pulls into the lot. Excuse, do you need help, mister? Oh, okay. Quick NBA story, if I can give it to you, if you don't mind.
Yeah, we got a couple minutes.
So you may have heard, I did an interview a couple days ago with the owner of the New York Knicks, James Dolan.
Yes, you did.
All right, and James Dolan told me when I asked him directly that they have no interest in Giannis.
Yep.
All right, that they are not going to make a trade of significance. They think they've got a roster. They might dabble a teeny bit.
Yeah.
But they think the roster they've got is good enough to win a championship as is.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked him that direct question. So obviously, anyone that follows the NBA, that became a big story that the New York Knicks, who have been linked to Giannis, are not going to get Giannis.
Right.
All right, so take the owner at his word on that, okay?
Yep.
So Giannis obviously becomes aware of that story, as everyone in the NBA did.
Mm-hmm.
So Giannis then did an interview with a guy named Sam Amick. I assume it's a guy, maybe a girl.
Yeah, no, it is. He works for The Athletic.
Okay, because I know there are some women named Sam. So
Yes, no, this is a guy.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a man.
It's a guy.
He does a good job.
I don't want to be a bad guy.
No,
All right,
no.
So Sam's
it's
a guy.
fair, but no, Sam does a good job.
All right.
Covering the
Does
NBA.
Sam identify as a guy?
Yes.
All right, great. Sam's a dude.
Yeah.
So Sam talked to Giannis, and Giannis told Sam that as of now, as of today, I think was the exact word.
He goes, as of today.
As of today, I would not ask for a trade. It's not the kind of guy I am.
Yeah, not in his nature.
Right. So there you go. Giannis is staying in Milwaukee.
Yeah, I don't buy it.
I'm sorry?
I don't buy it at all.
Why not?
I don't buy it for two reasons. One, Dolan said what he needed to say to you, and I'm not saying he's lying.
Okay.
I'm saying that when he spoke to you earlier this week, he was telling the truth.
And by the way, I did ask him, I said, I know you can't tamper. I said, did you consider Giannis during the offseason when it was rumored again that he tried to become a Knick? He said no to that too. But go ahead.
Right, and I'm saying that the Knicks, I don't believe the Knicks side, and I don't believe Giannis, but both sides have to say that now.
So you think Giannis did ask for a trade and would welcome a trade to the New York Knicks?
And I think the Knicks would welcome him back.
Well, if you're all following it, Giannis said yesterday, I would never ask for a trade. It's not who I am.
OK Dubs has to go back to his roots. I'm not a Jets fan, I'm not a Giants fan, and neither one of those teams even play in New York. But I'm a New Yorker through and through, despite where my mail gets sent. And I will not stand for the Jets to be dragged through the mud in this way. Not gonna happen. So Dante Moore, if you do leave, you should be so lucky to fly the plane.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Who are we looking at? We're looking at SGA because of his availability and consistency. It's Jaylen Brown to do his usage and his leadership. It's Jaylen Brown for how they're playing. It's Cade Cunningham because Detroit's in the top of the East. The MVP talk is going to be wild, and it'll be interesting to watch. MVPs just don't dominate. They survive the season.
Pro basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
Maybe the fact was that the kicker just blew a 44-yard field goal. Now, by the way, I feel horrible for this kid, Tyler Loop, who made every single field goal this season 44 yards or less. But the extra point that was missed just before that by Chris Boswell was the only extra point that he missed all season long. So did they bless that same holy water when Boswell missed the extra point? Come on, guys. Let's get it.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
The Steelers get their touchdown, and they miss the extra point. It was Lamar Jackson who made the plays to get the Ravens into what should have been easy field goal territory. So explain to me how in the world we can look at last night's game as, well, there you go, can't trust Lamar Jackson.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back to the Craig Carton Show. Tyrone Johnson here as well. Once again, LeBron James showing his true colors, Tyrone. The Lakers had a back-to-back the last two nights. Yeah. And 2 nights ago, they played the New Orleans Pelicans, one of the worst teams in basketball for a very, very long time. Mm-hmm. And then last night, of course, they played San Antonio Spurs.
Oh, yeah, they lost big.
Yeah, they lost by double digits. So just real quick, you're a basketball guy, right?
Yeah.
You're the voice of the Philadelphia 76ers on television down there in Philadelphia.
Yes, you see me there.
So let's pretend like I know nothing about basketball, okay? All right. Which is a better team, the Pelicans or the Spurs?
Well, the Spurs by a wide margin.
We'd agree that the Spurs right now are a top 3 team in basketball? Is that fair?
Yes.
Right? So if you're LeBron James, and a few days ago you told the world there's not a single weakness in my game. I got it all. I do everything great. All right?
Yes.
And you view yourself as the king, the chosen one, right?
Yes.
If you're not going to play in back-to-back games because you're 41, and I can appreciate that, that's fine, which game does it make more sense for you to play in for your team? A game against a much lesser opponent, the New Orleans Pelicans, or a game against a tougher opponent in the San Antonio Spurs if you're the type of cat who wants to do what's best for the team as opposed to what's best for you?
Well, you always got to discuss it with the doctors. First things first is you got to discuss it with the doctors and your training staff.
You're going to play in one of the 2 games.
Well, as long as the training staff says that, you talk to them, then in theory it would be the Spurs game, the tougher opponent.
The tougher opponent, right?
Unless you believe you're going to lose either way.
Well, or you're just an egotistical maniac.
This is a hate. This is more hate.
Who doesn't care about his team and only cares about the continuation of stat padding, which is all he's ever done.
What?
So LeBron James.
All he's ever done.
All he's ever done.
See, this is where it goes too far.
He's a stat padder.
This is where you go from critique to hate. Like you're a Jedi level hater.
I don't hate him. I respect the fact that he's a good basketball player.
I said Jedi level hater.
Okay.
Hater doesn't automatically mean you literally hate him.
Yeah.
But you sports hate him, absolutely.
Okay.
You sports despise him.
I'm just pointing out what most of the media that's on his jock and Curry's favorite to his agent are not willing to say because they're on his payroll. Okay?
Yeah,
and that is a fact that is not conjecture, hyperbole. There are people that cover basketball, that comment on NBA basketball, who are on his jock and are on the payroll specifically to further the cause that LeBron's the greatest basketball player of all time, which he's not. That being said,
he is, and there are people on the payroll, but
Yeah.
more people, and this has also been checked, have become millionaires hating LeBron James than any other athlete on earth.
Not true.
It is
not true.
true.
But that's another story for another day. If you ever promise Skip Bayless, I'll give you his number. You can call him and take it up with him privately.
I absolutely don't want to talk to Skip Bayless ever.
All right. Here's the scenario, though.
Mm-hmm.
He was only going to play in one of the two games.
Yeah.
You've got the Pelicans and you've got the Spurs. If you're really all about that life, if you really think the crown belongs on your head, if you really think chosen one belongs tattooed across your chest, then don't act like a scared little boy and show up for the game against the San Antonio Spurs and have at it. But that's not what LeBron did. It's not what LeBron does. LeBron James made a choice. He played against the Pelicans and chose not to play against the San Antonio Spurs because he don't want that smoke. He's not about that life. He doesn't want to play against the best young players in basketball because his game doesn't carry over. LeBron James has sadly become an afterthought in the world of the NBA. He is a stat padder now, nothing more, nothing less. He's a lousy teammate. He's an egomaniac. He's a narcissist. And he made a decision not to play against the Spurs because he knows that he's not good enough to be on the court against the Spurs. Because if he thought that he helps the Lakers win basketball games, or if the Lakers are a better team with him on the court, then you would have sat out against the Pelicans and gotten yourself ready to play against a much tougher opponent in the San Antonio Spurs. But what did he do? Like the coward that he is, he ducked all that San Antonio smoke. He wanted none of it because he knew he was looking at an 8-point, 3-rebound, 5-turnover night, and he would have been exposed yet again like he's been so many other times this year. The Lakers should cut LeBron James.
This is ridiculous. They should cut LeBron James. It's like, see, this
What's
is what I'm saying.
to the table?
This is where you should.
Yeah.
If I'm saying, if you had real honor, you would turn in your sports talk card for 1 month.
Yeah.
A 30-day suspension for saying something so crazy. Here's LeBron James this week.
Yeah.
LeBron James.
Against the Pelicans? I can't wait to hear what he did.
No.
So excited.
This is him speaking.
Yeah.
LeBron says Luka doesn't need to bend his game. Luka's our 26-year-old franchise for this ball club. He don't need to bend this game. It's up to us to bend our game around him and figure it out. Being a great teammate, that's number one. Being a great teammate.
He's not a good teammate.
He's a great teammate.
He's
number
a selfish
two, he's a great
egomaniac.
teammate. He's been a great teammate. He continues to be a tremendous teammate, a willing passer.
Are you on the payroll?
I'm not on the payroll.
You getting a check every month?
This is the thing that makes it tough for
I've
me.
worked with guys that get that check.
I wish I could
Are
get
you one
that
of those
check.
guys?
What are you talking about? You see how I live?
Yeah.
Okay.
You got 7 houses. Maybe you're on it. Maybe you're on it.
I don't have 7 houses.
Maybe you get a check
I wish
from
I
Rich
had
Paul.
7 houses.
Yeah.
All right? I wish I had 7 houses. All right. I know how much I
Guys
make.
collecting
I'm
rent
out
in
here
9 states.
struggling. I'm out here struggling in these streets. LeBron, if you like to cut a check, I'd take it.
Yeah, yes, you would.
But all he does is go out there and be a great teammate. But he no longer wants the crown. He said Luka's the king of the franchise. He said it this week. This hate, to me, feels unhealthy. I worry about you, Craig, because I care about you. You know, I have proof of that, okay?
Yes.
I can prove it. If under oath, I can prove it.
Yes, you can.
I care about
You're
you.
a dear
all right?
friend.
All
Yes.
right? I feel like this hate that you have for him might eat your life. Perhaps that hate is hurting your neck.
Maybe.
You talked about your neck issues the last
killing
segment.
me.
When you hate somebody as much as you hate LeBron, you got to let that hate out.
I don't
you gotta
hate
let it go.
I just have to call out the obvious because no one else has the balls to do it.
How would it help them to cut
LeBron James
him?
is a joke.
How would it help him to cut him? How does it help the Lakers to cut him?
Because the Lakers are 10 games over 500 without him and barely 500 with him.
How
They're
does
a
it
better
help
basketball team without him.
No. You
That's
didn't
a
answer my
fact.
question. Yet you didn't look at the opponents. You didn't look at all that. How does it help them? Not to trade them, not to cut them. How's that help the Lakers?
Because on one side, when LeBron was rehabbing from another Fugazi injury that didn't exist, the LA Lakers were the second best team in the West. When LeBron came back, the Lakers are barely a 500 basketball team. So take my opinion of LeBron out of it. Let's just look at cold, hard facts. With LeBron, average basketball team about 500. Without LeBron, one of the best basketball teams in the West.
Hold on. They're currently one game out of the 2 seed in the West right now.
Because of all the games they won before he started playing.
Because of that. That's not just because of that. That's not true. 100%. The math doesn't do that. Right now, the 2 seed are the Spurs at 26 and 11. The Lakers are 23 and 12. You're acting like there's this huge chasm that they've created this season.
There is.
It's just not true factually. This is how I know that you're working off the emotion.
Have you watched the Lakers play basketball this year?
I have watched them.
Are they a better team with him or without him?
With them.
Oh, stop it.
With them.
Stop
when
it.
those guys, Reeves has also been hurt.
Let me ask you a question, Mr. LeBron supporter on his jock.
I'm just saying he's
Why
the best
did he
player
play
ever
against the Spurs?
Why did he play against the Spurs?
That's what I said. I
Because
understand the question.
I'm going to tell you why. He's only going to play in one.
So why pick the Pelican game?
They were likely to lose to the Spurs either way.
Why?
You make sure you secure.
So
the Spurs are better.
You're telling
the Spurs
me
are better.
The team that's 11 games over 500 is afraid to play against the Spurs. They can't beat the Spurs.
Not afraid. You got to be strategic. It's 82. It's a marathon. You don't go crazy at mile 6 of a 27-mile race. You got to be smart. He's a smart man. And that's what I think bothers so many people is his strategy.
He's a narcissistic egomaniac. That's what he is.
This is
crazy.
crazy.
And he chose to play against a lesser opponent because he'd have better stats. And he knows the game has passed him by. His game don't work in the NBA anymore.
It does work.
It doesn't.
Passing and rebounding and scoring doesn't work in the NBA
disinterested.
anymore.
He's not good enough to play anymore. His son shouldn't be on the team either.
Well, that's different. Rubbish.
If I'm the Lakers, I part ways with LeBron James. Here's the problem with that. Nobody wants him.
Yes, so if you release him, nobody would sign. You put him away.
Yeah,
nobody would sign him.
They would take him for the minimum.
Well, you said nobody would want him. Not to sell, to help you win.
Maybe to sell some tickets. Maybe the Brooklyn Nets would take him. They can't sell any tickets.
It's ridiculous.
Maybe be a net. Maybe he thinks Durant's still there. He'll rebuild another super team to try to win. What a joke he is. Ugh. Afraid of the Spurs, my lord.
It's going to open up Pandora's box. But I will say this. I do believe players that sign now, like Nanji, should not be eligible now, but should have to sit out and come back in next year. It's just a slippery slope. And I agree with people like Tom Izzo. I don't like it at all.
College basketball today. Only on SportsGrid.
OK Dubs has to go back to his roots. I'm not a Jets fan, I'm not a Giants fan, and neither one of those teams even play in New York. But I'm a New Yorker through and through, despite where my mail gets sent. And I will not stand for the Jets to be dragged through the mud in this way. Not gonna happen. So Dante Moore, if you do leave, you should be so lucky to fly the plane.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
Maybe the fact was that the kicker just blew a 44-yard field goal. Now, by the way, I feel horrible for this kid, Tyler Loop, who made every single field goal this season 44 yards or less. But the extra point that was missed just before that by Chris Boswell was the only extra point that he missed all season long. So did they bless that same holy water when Boswell missed the extra point? Come on, guys. Let's get it.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
The Steelers get their touchdown, and they miss the extra point. It was Lamar Jackson who made the plays to get the Ravens into what should have been easy field goal territory. So explain to me how in the world we can look at last night's game as, well, there you go, can't trust Lamar Jackson.
The Craig Carton Show. only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back to the Craig Carton Show. Tyron Johnson with me, as always. Some news and notes from around sports. Every now and then, when a very successful businessman has crossed over to the side of, losing it a little bit, which happens to everybody. It's not a shot at anyone in particular. There's usually a tell. There's usually a sign. Maybe the guy's acting differently, or maybe he says something that makes you go, what you talking about, Willis?
Right.
That happened yesterday. Jerry Jones, my favorite owner in the history of the NFL, and also one of the worst owners in the history of the NFL, had a little press conference yesterday.
Oh, he did.
As the Dallas Cowboys are trying to explain to their fan base that they're fully committed to getting back to the playoffs next year and building a better defense and blah, 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 right? Mm-hmm. But there was something else that Jerry Jones said that made me think it might be time to turn the reins over to Stephen Jones.
Ugh.
Jerry Jones is 83 years old.
83
and I'm sure he's very vibrant at 83. No problem with that. Jerry Jones said yesterday that his main focus and goal, do we have it?
We have it.
I'll let you hear it. You tell me for yourself. Here's Jerry Jones. Go ahead.
My goal in life is to retire as the owner that won the most Super Bowls.
Sorry?
Uh-huh.
That's my goal.
Okay.
To be retired in the NFL as the owner that won the most Super Bowls.
By the way,
we've got 3. How many more do I have to go?
Everybody needs goals. Even as a billionaire, you got goals, man. You don't just stop, striving and thriving. So I did some research. It's what I do.
Yeah.
That way I'm always informed with an opinion, Tyrone.
There you go.
Jerry Jones wants to retire with the most Super Bowls of any owner.
Okay.
All right, great goal. Jerry Jones, although it's been 30 years since they've been to a Super Bowl, has 3.
Yes.
All right. Obviously, the Michael Irvin, Emmitt Smith, Troy Aikman, Dallas Cowboys. He's got 3.
Yeah,
in the mid-90s.
He had 3 in the first, I think, 8 years that he owned the team.
Right. Jimmy Johnson's got a couple, and Barry Switzer as well.
Has
right?
the one. Yep.
All right. So great goal, meaning he's got 3.
Got 3.
So I did a little research.
Okay.
Robert Kraft has 6.
Ugh.
So Jerry Jones has to win 4 more Super Bowls as owner of the Cowboys without the Patriots winning any. So let's just assume the Patriots don't win one. Okay, that's fine. Very hard to win a Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. The Cowboys haven't won in 30 years.
30 years.
And now he's going to win 4 more?
Yeah.
It's time to turn the team over.
It just is.
Is it not?
It's time. And I feel bad for Jerry a little bit because I understand he probably doesn't feel 83. I bet you in his mind he's in his 50s. I doubt he feels like he's 20, but I bet you. But unfortunately, when you get to the 8s, danger lurks around every turn.
That's right.
So,
every stairwell, every stoop, every curve.
He's on every wet spot on his yacht. Like you go out on the deck of the yacht and it's slippery.
That's right.
Like it's around every curve.
Shower.
Right.
Every massage.
Everything.
Yeah. Every sexual encounter.
Right.
Like time is not on your side.
And let's give him to where he turned. Let's say he's able to still be sharp to 93 years old, which I think is generous. But let's give him 10 years.
Sure.
What are the odds that anybody in the NFL, regardless of the franchises, are going to win 4 in the next 10 years?
Highly unlikely. That's right.
I mean, you saw that the Chiefs were on the most dominant run maybe we've ever seen as far as making the conference championship game every year. They won 3.
Correct.
To win 4 more.
Yeah.
In 10 years.
Not going to happen, which is why I think that's the moment where he crossed the line.
Yeah.
To the wrong side,
Yeah, and this is where Steven, I know you love your father. Maybe you talk to him and say, Dad, what we have to do
this is the problem,
under promise, over deliver.
Here's the problem. When you are the offspring of a billionaire, and you've never done anything on your own.
That's true. He didn't go to the private sector. He went right with the team.
And by the way, even if your father funds it, that's fine.
Right.
Like if you went out and started a restaurant chain, if you went out and started a business,
that's something different, right? That's different.
But then we appreciate that, we respect that,
of course.
So what? You use your family money to do it.
But you did it.
But you did it. You put the work in.
Right.
The problem with a lot of heirs to billionaire fortunes is that they don't do anything.
Right.
They just get a job with their dad's company, and they're vice president from Jump Street.
Right.
And, they were born on third base. They win the DNA lottery. So they have no true life experience to be a leader, a leader of men and women in a company. So Stephen Jones doesn't have the ability to say to his dad, it's time to step down. I got this.
Right.
He's never done anything.
Right. He's only done that.
That's it.
And now I think he's deep into his 50s now. And this is the only job he's ever had.
And it's not even really a job.
No, not really.
It's an inheritance.
Right. It's not, right. And his dad still is the one pushing the buttons.
Right. He doesn't make any executive decisions.
No, not the final decisions are still all Jerry.
When they decided to get Trey Lance, Stephen Jones didn't make the call.
No, it was Jerry.
Jones made the call.
When they decided to not put curtains in and if players are blinded by the sun, that comes directly from Jerry.
That wasn't Stephen Jones.
Because when you have concerts and stuff, he says the sun's perfect.
Right. When they decided women aren't allowed in the owner's box, that wasn't Stephen Jones.
No, that was
Jerry Jones.
That was Jerry Jones.
Yeah, so that's that one story. Second story for you now. I know a lot of you are starting to participate in Polymarket and Kalshi.
Yeah.
The predictive markets.
Be careful.
Which is unregulated and available in all 50 states. And it's the fastest growing segment of the gambling community right now because it is gambling, whether they say it is or isn't. But, they've got themselves in some hot water.
Uh-oh.
They allow insider trading in the predictive market.
Yes.
It's allowed. Yeah. All right. Matter of fact, it's encouraged. For example, there was a press conference yesterday at the White House with the president's spokeswoman.
Oh, yeah, the press secretary,
and there were wagers made on Polymarket and Kalshi the length of the press conference.
Yep.
And she got to a point where there was like 30 seconds left before it went over.
Yep.
And it was very strange. She shut the press conference down, packed up her bags, and left.
Kind of suddenly with 30 seconds left.
If I didn't know the story, I wouldn't have thought twice about it, to be honest.
Right.
All right? Because maybe that's how those things go. But now we found out there was significant money wagered that the press conference would be under a certain time, not over.
1 hour, 5 minutes.
Okay.
It went 1 hour, 4 minutes, and 30-some seconds.
Yeah. So now people think there are people at the White House, and a lot of people think it's Barron Trump, that are insider trading. And the worst example of this was when we went into Venezuela and took their dictator out, Maduro out. We're not going to discuss the merits of it.
That's what happened.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
Our forces went in about a 2-hour mission, and we took the dictator out of Venezuela.
Him and his wife.
And gave those people a chance at democracy. Leave that alone, okay? Somebody made a $40,000 wager that we were going to take out the dictator of Venezuela and have an incursion there and a quote-unquote invasion. And that person won about $400,000. Polymarket will not pay them the money because they claim it was not technically an invasion.
Come on. If
you're going to allow it to happen, you better pay it out.
Let's play a little buy or sell. I think it's pretty evident that despite being one of the best tight ends in the history of the NFL, Travis Kelce's play and physicality and everything, with all due respect, took a big step back. This was easily his worst physical season of all. He just didn't look like himself. Travis Kelce will retire after the season. Buy or sell?
Yeah, I'm probably 60-40 on this that he retires. The only thing I'd say that maybe he returns is because he doesn't want to end the way it ended, not making the playoffs and that sort of thing. But let's just say for Gales and Mahomes, he isn't going to be ready for September or October. Unless they get a really good veteran quarterback, maybe he doesn't want to deal with that either. Go through a training camp and you may not make the playoffs either next year. So I'm probably 60-40. I think he's done. Too bad. Hall of Fame career. I guess good luck with Travis Swift and your podcast with Jason.
I'm buying this. Andy Reid addressing this question this week. Why? He could have just deferred and said, I don't know, we'll see. Fully answered the question about this maybe being his last game. What does that tell you? He knows. Everybody knows. I'm not 60-40, 90-10. I'm on buy. Bo Nix versus Caleb Williams. You'd rather have Nix over Caleb Williams in a dynasty league.
That's a tough one. I think I'm going to go Caleb here, mainly because he has more running ability than Nix. I think he'll also stay healthier than Nix. I might like his receivers more as well. He's got Dunze. He's got you got DJ Moore. You got the good tight ends here. probably do lean towards Williams here. Not by a hell of a lot. It wouldn't be an easiest choice here, but I'm going to go with Caleb Williams here.
I would agree. It's not that I think that Ben Johnson is a better coach than Sean Payton. I think Ben Johnson is better for Caleb Williams than Sean Payton will be for Bo Nix. I think running is going to be a big part of what Denver does in the future. So there you go. I'll sell.
Fantasy Sports Today. Friday, starting at 3 p.m. Only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back to the Craig Carton Show. There was an NBA trade last night that should have been considered a big deal because a few years ago, Trae Young looked like he was on a fast track to become one of the young faces of the NBA. Took the Hawks to a Western Conference final. Lost, I think it was to Milwaukee that year.
He did.
And then Trae Young has just become impossible to play with. So the Atlanta Hawks, I know it's being called a trade. It was a salary dump is all it was. They traded him to Washington for C.J. McCollum and another guy that's not a household name.
That's on an expiring, who's on an expiring contract.
And that's it. No picks, nothing.
Nothing, yeah.
So this is a kid that has all the talent in the world, is one of the great villains in the NBA over the last 5 or 6 years. And when his game is on, it's on. He's a very, very good basketball player, but a lousy teammate, doesn't like to share the rock. And the Atlanta Hawks have a better record without him this year than with him. But for a guy that I still think, while it's a fading marquee, is a marquee talent, to trade him for nothing in return might be the most lopsided trade in the history of basketball.
Well, we'll see what happens with Washington and what they do. He has a player option for next year, so he could be expiring.
I think they saved $70 million. So that makes them players in the free agent market for next year.
Yeah, assuming he opts out.
I'm talking about Atlanta.
Oh, Atlanta, yes.
Yeah.
But he could have opted out with Atlanta. They didn't know. He could opt in. The tough thing's going to be he's still only 27 years old.
Yeah, he's a kid.
So it's not an age issue. The question is going to be, while he's a passer, he's not a good teammate.
Correct.
So far. So the teammates hated him in Atlanta. The first thing he has to do is find the teammates there, find a way to make them like him.
Well, look, he's now the best player on that roster.
Right.
Right? So hopefully he'll recognize that my career went south because now I'm in no man's land in Washington.
Because he was the best player of the Hawks, too.
But now he's playing in another city, a worse city for basketball, and no one cares about Washington at all. So now he's got an opportunity to kind of redevelop himself and redefine his game and actually get everybody involved.
Learn how to be a leader.
And it's okay if you want to take the last shot. I get it. You're the best player.
Right.
But you got to be a better teammate. So keep an eye on that because that was a one-sided trade from a talent standpoint.
Absolutely.
No disrespect to Lehigh's C.J. McCollum,
who has had a nice career.
Yeah,
he really
sure
has. And he'll help what the Hawks are doing now, where they share the ball and it moves and all that stuff. But he's not nearly as good a player.
And then I want to give you a quick Jamar Chase story because Jamar Chase is my main man. Jamar Chase, like I do, likes to play Call of Duty and a bunch of war games and stuff like that. So when you play those games and you're in a team setting, you can get shot. Yeah. You get knocked out, but another one of your teammates can resuscitate you.
Yes.
And basically spawn you back to life.
Yes.
All right, Fortnite's got the same exact thing, okay? So I want you to see this video of Jamar Chase playing the video game and when he tries to get a teammate when he offers a teammate to resuscitate him to get him back into the game. Let it play, guys. Go ahead.
I don't know what to do.
Hey, yo, bro, if somebody defib me, bro, I could give you season ticket holder, bro. Come on, bro.
What?
Defib me, bro. I can give you some tickets the whole season, bro. Wait.
He offered season tickets to the Bengals if they resuscitate him.
Man, the problem is you don't know where the people were that were playing with him. One of them might be in Yugoslavia. He's not going to know what to do with those.
Isn't that great, though?
That's awesome.
And it's so friendly. That's so awesome.
That's incredible.
I need more videos like that. Enough of the Rashee Rice stories,
I agree.
which we have to cover. That guy is money. I love it. All right, from that, as you know, tonight is the first of the two semifinals for, what are we calling it now again?
College football playoff.
The CFP?
CFP.
Yeah, the CFP. All right, the CFP in the place to be. Most definitely. I'm the young MC. All right, here we go. Pretty good, right?
That's not terrible.
Off the dome.
Off the dome.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
I got a color TV so I can see the Knicks play basketball. That was Sugar Hill Gang.
You almost, yeah.
I stole their words there. Sorry about that.
See, sorry.
Sorry about that.
See,
what happened?
You got to give the credit now to
Have you ever gone over a friend's house to eat and the food just ain't no good?
Yeah.
I mean, the macaroni soggy, the peas are mushed, and the chicken tastes like wood.
Yeah.
You know that?
Yes,
You know about that?
Yes. Yeah.
Anyhow, Miami, Ole Miss tonight. Miami's favored by 2.5 right now, and Tyrone's got to pick. If you're going to wager on the game, wager responsibly. If you don't love the game, just watch it and enjoy it for what it is. Go.
Yes, I really like this game in large part because of the trenches, and I believe, I'm going to say it out loud once again, the SEC was overrated this year. They were rated highly because they were facing one another. When they play outside the conference, they didn't do well.
By the way, we could have a final with no SEC team.
Yes, for a second year in a row. Yeah. And it looks to me like that's going to happen. I have Miami minus the 3.5 versus Ole Miss because honestly,
I'm going to give it to you at 2.5. We'll change that because I just saw it at 2.5.
I just saw it. I mean, literally just saw it at 3.5.
All right, okay. Yeah. Then we'll use your number.
But we'll use whatever is the current number.
That's fine.
Either way, I'd like them to cover the 2.5 or 3.5. Okay. I'd like them by more than a field goal because at the end of the day, Ruben Bain, who I think is a lock top 5 pick, is going to be a great pro. They're not going to be able to block him, and that's why I think Miami's
Tony's a stud there too. And look, you got Beck. He's obviously a damn good quarterback. Yeah. Here's what's interesting about it: if Miami wins, they'll be in the championship game at home. At home, because the championship is in Miami this year. And I have 2 kids that graduated Miami, so they took a look today before they even play the game. Yeah, the get-in price right now for the championship game, because they're expecting Miami gets in. $3,500. Wow. And it's only going to go up. Have yourselves a great day. We'll see you tomorrow morning again.